Hello, everyone. Welcome back to GDQ Hotfix. Welcome to Parallel Universe and the last Hotfix show before SGDQ. I'm very excited for this episode. If you don't know, Parallel Universe is focused on community-created content. So I'm talking things like mods, fan games, randomizers are here sometimes, bingo, stuff like that. And tonight, I finally got a Super Metroid together. This game, of course, has a very storied history with mods and such. And I think these wonderful people on with me would be able to explain that a lot better. So why don't you all take it away?
Well, I'm M2 Cartridge. I will be running Super Metroid Unhundred%. It's a mod created by Clockwise UK, and I'll be joined by the Hockey Towner and Mr. Guy Average. Why don't y'all introduce yourselves?
Good evening, everyone. MM2, thanks so much for having me on. I am the Hockey Towner.
And I'm Mr. Guy Average, and yeah, I'm super excited to see how this goes. It's a really, really cool gimmicky hack.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, without further ado, let's get started in 3, 2, 1, let's jam. So, this is a gimmick mod created. Basically it's the vanilla game, except you start with all the items instead of starting with nothing, and you have to put all the items back where they started. So we're gonna get the first item in about 10 seconds, and you'll see something a little different if you're used to the vanilla game. Power bombs placed. So that's the first power bomb pack, the first item. I now lose that item permanently. Can't get it back, it's done for. So, it's kind of an interesting mechanic to route around.
It's just so interesting, too, right off the bat, to see you using Speed Booster and sparking up there, doing this wraparound shot, going straight into Gauntlet with all movement items.
Yeah, for the first, half of the run, you're really just blazing through everything, no worries about anything. And then, after a certain point, it really just becomes trying to survive, get all the rest of the items back without taking a death.
Yeah, I kind of like to think of it as like an inverted 100% run, where usually, in Super Metroid, you start off pretty slow, and then you get more items, and you start to get faster, and then rooms just start to get difficult because of the movement that you have to do. This is kind of like the other way around, where you start off just zooming through all the rooms, trying to execute, putting all the items back in their place, and then as the run progresses, you start to get a lot more slower, the rooms are a lot more difficult, you have to conserve ammo, health, and, just trying to stay alive, so the end of the run definitely gets pretty interesting.
Yeah, the end of the run is really just, it's such a different experience from the beginning of the run. Because, like you said, we're just blazing through everything like a tank. But we're through the little intro portion, and this is actually the last area we're going to return to. So we're leaving a couple items here so that we can put them back. You noticed I jumped over that energy tank a couple rooms ago. That'll be the last energy tank we put back in about an hour. So we just want to have it for the rest of the run. And here's our first super pack that we're putting back. Gonna lose that 5 capacity. But after this, we're just gonna take a run through Retro Brentstar and leave one more item behind that'll be relevant to the end of the game.
Those well-hidden Criteria Supers there, and I gotta say, MM2, I don't know how many other categories have this many moonfalls down the climb and in old Torian here.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Moonfall is a glitch involving the Moonwalk feature, which I have turned on. If you do a buffered spin jump out of a Moonwalk, which is just it's a funny feature that they included, Deer Force, in the vanilla game. Just really a joke feature. It wasn't too thought out. Lets you moonwalk backward like Michael Jackson. But if you do a buffered spin jump, then it uncaps your fall speed, and you can fall without the fall speed cap, so ridiculously fast if you get enough distance. So we used that a couple times there, and it shows up really throughout the run.
So MM2 into Construction Zone here, going to place. This is originally the first missile pack that you pick up in the vanilla game after getting the morphing ball. But Fortunately, M2 said the game locks you out of returning Morphing Ball until the very end.
Indeed, yeah. The morph item does not show up until you've put the 99 other items back first. Because morph is the most useful item in Super Metroid, and it's really not even close. So there's a it's almost like a puzzle the first time you play this game, is just to get all the items back without soft locking yourself.
Yeah, it's a very punishing puzzle too, because there's a lot of ways that you can soft lock. Like when I first started running this mod, it was really difficult to get a completed run because there's just so many ways you can soft lock if you're not paying attention, and you just kind of locked out of placing more items.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, when you pitched this mod to me, I was like, okay, that sounds amazing. And then my second thought was, I would never be able to do this.
You and me both, Helix.
Yeah. Yeah, you really have to know the vanilla game and then know what not to do. So, coming up is actually a really big not to do. So, there's this power bomb pack that's behind the vanilla morph location, which is right here. And I have to not touch this.
Don't do it. Look at that. Cleared it like an Olympic hurdler.
Yep. That's the last powerbomb pack that we're going to be putting away in the run. And if I put it back now, that would cause some problems, to put it lightly.
You're going to see MM2 skip some more items here, like this charge beam. That's an incredibly important item to have. So there's no way you want to get rid of it early.
Yep, charge beam, insanely important. Helps with every single boss fight in the run, with like 1 or 2 exceptions, maybe. No, I think it is every boss but one. So more than pays for itself to not put back right now. We're actually going to leave this entire section until the very end, just because it's easy to do everything except that one item that requires speed booster, on pretty much nothing movement-wise. So this whole hack is, this whole game is revolved around just how you can keep the good items as long as possible, but also route it in a moderately efficient way. So that a routing choice to put that item back now is really, it's a sacrifice so that we can do a lot of other more efficient things, I guess. So
MM2.
That first, yep.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You go first.
I was just gonna say, we're now out of the real first section of this game, and now we're just gonna head into the first big area of the game, which is Meridia. So yeah, you were saying, Hockey?
So I wanted to ask, because in prep for this, I didn't really get to talk too much about your overall experience with the hack, but I did hear this rumor that there might have been a little bit of changing of the guard at the world record holder position of this category.
Oh yeah, that is true. So until roughly 10 hours ago, my fellow co-commentator, Mr. Guy Average, was the world record holder of this category with a 1 hour 1 hour and 11 minute and 22 second time. But now I'm the world record holder with a 1 hour 10 minute and 49 second time.
Yeah, and after I heard that, I was just about to quit, because, I mean...
Yeah, I really had to use I'd be nice with him, breaking the news. Because, you know, I needed him to stick around for just the rest of the day.
I don't know. Yeah, it's tough being here when you're not the world record holder anymore. I can't flex my superiority over
my gosh. MJ, you're a great sport.
But yeah, I do appreciate the long-lasting friendship, MGA. I think we've sniped way too many records from each other, because we both run all the stupid category extensions and all the hacks.
No, not stupid. Just esoteric, off the beaten path.
It's true, Hockey. Esoteric. That's a great
there you go.
We're known as a couple of off the beaten path runners.
Yep. Yeah, the co-op Mappo map completion world record holders. Us two.
Incredible.
Yeah, we've done more than a few esoteric categories, shall we say,
No, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
both in the vanilla game and otherwise.
Yeah, so to those of you that do watch vanilla speedruns of Super Metroid, a lot of this this movement through these rooms, especially these Meridia rooms, looks just like 100%. We saw MM2 drop off his beach missiles, and now he's into the watering hole to drop off his super missile and a second missile pack. But it's just such a unique concept, and like MM2 said at the beginning, how do you route through the game while continuously losing energy, ammo, and movement items while maximizing your use of those, you know, powerful beam combinations and movement items?
Indeed. So, the reason that a lot of this routing is going to end up looking like the vanilla 100% routing is because, surprisingly enough, that routing has been optimized for years, and it's pretty good. So we generally want to follow it whenever possible, at least in the intricate routing of all the regions. So this first part of Meridia has been identical to 100%, with one exception at the beginning that I haven't talked about yet, that I'll get to later. And we're going to pretty much follow that routing for the rest of Meridia, and then it'll diverge. But right now we're going to see a big divergence from 100% with this boss fight coming up. So
MGA, tell us about this one.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so as you can see, MM2 had X-ray selected here, and he charged a plasma shot. And one of the interesting features about plasma beam is that it actually can hit certain enemies for multiple frames. Enemies that weren't intended to be attacked by plasma, because plasma was an item that you're supposed to get after you fight already all of these bosses. So if you use X-ray, you can actually sort of pause the game and wait for the invulnerability timer of the boss to run out, and then basically you release X-ray. It hits the plasma shot hits the boss again, and you just kind of rinse and repeat that process, and it'll hit the boss multiple times with the same shot. So it's really convenient for that boss, Batoon, and then also the next boss coming up, Dragon. You'll see MM2 do a similar thing here as well.
Yeah, right in this room. In case it wasn't clear once, you get to do it again.
For sure, for sure. Now, Phantoon is microwavable with that microwave beam, but unfortunately, since MM2 is in Meridia, which is where you find the plasma beam, in fact, you have to defeat Dragon to get it, he's going to be giving up his plasma beam in a little bit. But first, we're going to see it one more time. Look at that.
And microwaved shrimp.
I like to say, MJ, that's the #1 way to become the most popular coworker in the workplace, in the lunchroom. Just bring that shrimp to work and microwave it. #1 way. But Space Jump lovers, this is the end. Parting in such sweet sorrow.
Yeah, so eventually we do have to say goodbye to the good items. Space Jump does happen to be the first. And then Spring Ball and Plasma Beam will follow in fairly quick succession. But without Space Jump, this room becomes a little more difficult to traverse, so we do a couple damage boosts, and then use Grapple Beam for this section. Shout out to Grapple.
Excellent use of Grapple Beam, I approve.
Yeah, that was a great room, MM2. Yeah. Some death-defying high-wire act there. And also, going in, I know you didn't get that full halfie, but that was a great kind of reverse Womple jump. That was really nice.
Yeah, really bringing out the GT Classic strats, because... yeah, the full happy is the fastest way to do that room, but then the space jump through is second best. The happy just doesn't cut it.
It's true. But
happy going across half the room, as the name suggests, and then later they discovered that you could go across the whole entire room if you're quick enough with your movement. So got the name Full Happy because we don't like coming up with new names. We already got one.
And it also sounds like a sick skateboard trick. So
it really does.
True.
You're absolutely right, MGA.
I hadn't even thought of it that way.
Yeah. So now, with this item put up, we're gonna visit our good friend Shack Tool and put away the spring ball for good. Whoops.
Also, a sad moment for you spring ball enthusiasts as well. Meridia just has 2 of the best movement items in the entire game. I know spring ball is kind of slept on a little bit, but yeah, we've seen MM2 use it a ton already.
Yeah, it'll get to go 2 final times before we put it away.
Completely worth it. But this is nice. You get a little break. You get to watch this robot dig through these walls for you.
Yeah, theoretically there's a time save on Shack Tool's movement with Grapple Beam. Task can grapple him in specific parts to save like a second because of how grappling and enemies interact.
Yeah, when I tried,
it's really weird.
Yeah, when I tried timing this out, it was only like a second faster, and the movement is just like way more difficult. So it's a lot easier just to take a nice like quick break from spamming.
Yep. Yeah, that's the longest cutscene in the run. Done. Now we get to put Spring Ball away.
Goodbye,
And
spring ball.
right after this is the Spring Ball tutorial, because I want you to say, yeah, I can jump up shaft and ball form, but...
Yeah, those mid-air morphs are looking terrific.
Yeah.
I gotta work on those MM2.
Yeah, if you just slam the inputs real fast, you can make it work. We'll actually be doing that again in Left Sandpit in a while. Because it's another place where it's like, yeah, you should have this cool new item that they put in the game.
And also, this room is just way worse without spring ball or space jump.
For sure.
The sand holes are pretty brutal.
Yeah, they really are. You want to fly through them, but you have to get stuck in the sand. Not a great time.
But at least you have the convenience of the shoot, as I like to call it, to come right up here to the plasma beam room, so...
True. How nice.
Chat is definitely enjoying this as well. There is someone read the title as Super Metroid Unhinged instead of Unhundred. I mean, this does sound pretty unhinged. So.
I would not disagree.
Oh my gosh.
I cannot say I disagree. So, one of the fun things about this room is plasma is the intended way to damage these enemies. Screw attack also does it as well. So, normally getting out of here is an issue. You want to... You know, I meant killing all the enemies, but... Okay, yeah.
It's a pretty tight wall jump.
Just watch them on the single tile. It's easy. But normally you have to kill all the pirates with plasma before you put plasma away. But if you keep screw attack for that, then you can just do the first half of the room with plasma and the second half with screw attack. Another little moonfall there.
Looks good, MM2 looks really good so far.
Yep.
Up through Cack Attack Alley here.
Yeah, so this is still really just boilerplate 100% routing, just with fairly different movement.
As it just gets worse and worse, right? Not the movement getting worse, but like you know what I mean. It's more challenging to the runner for sure.
The opportunities, the items you have give you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, from my perspective, it looks like the movement gets more and more interesting.
It definitely becomes harder, I think.
Yeah, you have a lot less options to choose from in terms of the movement items you have, but the movement stays difficult. It's all about the clean ledge grabs, clean movement, getting the arm pumps in here and there, and save the frames.
With just a little bit of item drop off here in the aqueduct. This is another soft lockable location, but MM2 getting up there with a shine spark with style and panache, no problem. Still has a single sand pit, the left side sand pit to do. But
yeah.
You know, I think there's some irony here, MM2. You know what I spent almost all morning cleaning my apartment from top to bottom and just putting all my things away, organizing, sorting, you know, reduce, reusing, recycling the things I no longer want. And here you are on planet Zebes as Samus Aran, bounty hunter extraordinaire, putting everything away.
Yeah.
I just made a joke in chat about how this is just like cleaning my room. What a coincidence.
I know, it's the weirdest thing. I don't know what to say.
Samus is cleaning up the Space Pirate's mess. Ooh, fun mechanic I get to talk about now. So what I just did to collect this reserve tank is called the Hoenn Dizzy Shuffle, named after an old tasser named Hoenn Dizzy, because he did it for entertainment. But it's basically a turnaround cancel that puts you closer to the item than you're supposed to be, so you can just unmorph and touch the item's hitbox and put the item away without laying a bomb to put you up there.
Some D.
So, a little fun mechanic there.
Yeah, 'cause unfortunately, Metroid cannot crawl. So
Oh no!
you have to shuffle
MM2
Yeah.
giving us
Make
the
that
deep
joke?
cuts. And
I wasn't gonna make a joke, but if that's the way you guys are gonna live the life, then I can't say I blame you.
no,
Okay,
we
nice.
get a little bit of everything. Get a little bit of GT class in this run. We just saw a green gate glitch there. Hitting the gate from the wrong side. And now some more Shine Spark action because MM2 still got that speed booster. That's an incredibly vital item. Gotta keep it for as long as possible.
I think, like, second to the suits, and obviously morph, I think speed is the most important item in terms of routing.
Oh, I did see actually something in chat that I feel like we forgot to mention. There is actually no Turian in this mod.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, once you put back all of the items, you place morph and then you just leave. Since Turian has no items in the area, there's no reason to go in there at all.
Yeah. Good catch, MJ. Yeah, earlier we just shoot the super, and because of how collision works, if you do it right, you can open the gate from the wrong side if the gate's facing left. That's how the gate glitch works, basically. But now we're done with Meridia. All the items there are set and done. Now we're just gonna go off to the wrecked ship. The reason we do Meridia first in this game is because we only need the gravity suit for Meridia, and if we can put the gravity suit away, we can just do Meridia, wrecked ship, and then do all of Norfair in one shot. And doing Norfair in one trip is really fast compared to having to come back for a second dip, which would be double Norfair. So, and then in the vanilla game, there's a requirement for space jump for a certain item that we'll talk about later. But in this game, they decided to change that requirement, make it so that it no longer exists, because it's actually really arbitrary. The way that it comes up, but vanilla has to do 2 dips through Norfair because of that. But Clockwise UK decided to be nice to us, so we get to do Norfair in one trip a lot easier.
Thank you, Clockwise UK.
Thank you, Clockwise UK.
Thank you, Clockwise UK.
Thank you, Clockwise UK.
Oh man.
Everybody, if you're watching on YouTube, which by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Go down in the comments and write, thank you, Clockwork UK.
Clockwise UK.
Clockwise UK. Dang it. Thank you.
Alright.
I had literally just said it and somehow I forgot. There's too much going on in this brain.
I hope that's their YouTube channel, so they just get pinged like hundreds of times.
That would truly be hilarious.
There's just all this like excited new interest in 2024 in this fan game. It'd be terrific.
Also, by the way, while you're down there writing that comment, do us a favor and like the video if you're enjoying what you're seeing.
Heck yeah. Okay, so at the start of Wreck Ship, we got the boss. Bentune, known RNG boss. He's got 3 patterns, fast, spin, and slow. We're going to look for some fast patterns so we can land an X Factor on him. But we got the slow the first round. We're going to be trying to get a 2 round here. Nope. Okay, so you have to hit him with 2 missiles, and then 2 missiles, and then the X Factor. I hit him with 3 missiles, so he disappeared. Okay.
Setting up for a little X Factor, the special beam combination using the wave beam,
Nice.
charge beam, and power bomb. So nice land in all 4 particles there, MM2.
Yeah, that's the pop tune setup found by Poplars ages ago. First X Factor setup I learned, still do it. But we turn off ice right before this fight just for this fight, and then right after, we're going to turn back on all our beams because Spazer is disabled from the start because we got plasma and it doesn't get turned back on until we manually turn it on. But we want Spazer for a couple things coming up, which we'll get to once they come up.
Shout out to Spazer. When you ask your mom, when you tell your mom you want plasma beam, and she says we've got plasma beam at home, Spazer's what you got already. So,
Indeed. Okay,
thanks
so
for that, MM2.
I explained it to y'all yesterday, but do y'all want to explain why I'm shooting supers off right now?
I'd love to, but I don't
Yeah.
remember, so I'm gonna pass it to MGA.
Yeah. So, interestingly, so there's an interesting thing that actually happens with ammo in this mod. Unlike health, when you put it back, you actually get your health refilled, similar to the vanilla game. But when you put ammo back, if you're over the maximum once you place the ammo back, the game will actually remove 5. So let's say you had 21 supers, you put back a pack, now your max is 20. Even though you had 21 supers, you don't lose 1 super, you actually lose 5. So MM2 has to be shooting supers out a bunch so that he doesn't lose more supers than he needs to. And it's a lot of important ammo conservation like that, because we're getting to the point in the run where ammo really counts.
Yeah, really, leaving Fantoon is just kind of a change of pace when it comes to super management. Before that, we really haven't had to worry about ammo management because the drain from putting items away has really just outpaced the actual ammo that we're using. But now at this point, we need all the super missiles we can get all the time, everywhere, for a variety of reasons. So having exactly 20 supers after those 2 super packs earlier is paramount. Really, you just have to have them. Otherwise, you're losing time farming them back later.
More ammo, more better, MM2. I've been saying it for years.
You have been saying it for years. I remember.
MM2 remembers. Oh,
This is actually a really cool attic strat
That was
you don't
so
get to see
cool.
anywhere else. Yeah.
Yep.
Very
Okay.
rare to see this item set here.
Yeah, it's a really neat set of items that Screw Attack is really powerful for the basic enemies, but it doesn't do anything for bosses. So you have to get through them. Here's another boss, this robot.
Yeah,
Not really, but he feels like
everyone's being extra
Yeah.
stubborn today.
Baby shampoo for the fans.
No, I can't. I
Unfortunately.
wish.
We're taking requests.
I'd do it if I could. That's got some deep lore.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, baby shampoo is just a strat, a esoteric strat in an
Oh.
esoteric category.
Yep.
But we do.
Yeah, those who know will get it.
But it is possible to do robot flush though here in the bowling spikes.
Indeed. Yeah, so Robot Flush, a couple rooms from now, there's the room we call bowling. And then below the room, there are 2 robots that are just chilling around, and you have to get past them in order to get to a couple items. So we're gonna try to do some charge shots into the floor to hit them into their holes while the cutscene's going.
All robots must go to home, to their holes, where they live. That is where they belong.
So missing the first jump is not ideal, but I think we might have gotten the second one. So we'll see once this cutscene's over.
Now we wait with
Yeah.
bated breath.
That's right.
With bated breath.
through
that
the
powerbomb
through the
again was also
second
yeah, go
longest
ahead, Hockey.
cutscene. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, the second longest cutscene.
How long's G4? I know we're not going to see it, but
48 seconds? Somewhere in the 48 to 50 second range.
Yeah,
Dang.
I think G4 is technically longest, but since it's not in this, we won't count it.
fair enough.
Okay.
It was worth a shot, MM2.
It was worth a shot. But the powerbomb destroyed the Chozo that was holding that missile, so the missile was just sitting in the air, waiting for us to show up.
MM2 is a humanitarian and a philanthropist. He just wants to give those robots a home. And so he did.
True.
By just pumping them full of missiles.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
I don't know why it just struck me as really funny.
You're funny.
Sometimes.
Funny
I
looking.
appreciate that, MM2.
I'm kidding.
Wow. Uncalled for.
Not completely called for, honestly.
Wow.
But,
don't say
okay.
that. Don't say that, Hockey.
Goodbye, Gravity Suit. The beautiful
Yep.
purple paint job. Or is it pink? I don't know. Discuss, chat.
Vote now in the comments.
But now we get the best looking suit in the game, Varia suit.
That is true. Very. The orange is just unparalleled, honestly.
Unparalleled, yeah.
It is iconic. But purple's my color, man.
Hey, you do you.
That's right. So now the big Norfair tour. Are you ready, MM2?
I was born ready, Hockey.
Of course.
Yeah. So with the gravity suit return, the run is really just taking a turn now. Now at this point, we are trying to just get through and survive. It'll really become more apparent once we put back screw attack. But for now, we just got a couple more items to take care of here.
Down on power bombs, down on missiles, and then I believe you'll be stopping at X-ray. While you
Yep,
still
that
got your
is the yep.
while you,
Go
while
ahead.
you still have your grapple beam, of course.
Yeah. Only use grapple a couple times because going over the spikes is so fast.
While you're working on that, I did mention it earlier, but this is the last hotfix show before SGDQ, because SGDQ is coming up starting this weekend, Sunday, June 30th, and lasts through until July 7th. You can go to gamesdonequick.com for more info. I'm going to be there. We're all looking forward to it. And we will be offline the next few days as we set up for that, but please make sure you tune in on June 30th for that.
Yeah.
Let's go! Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Oh my.
SGDQ should be an excellent time for all who are going to be there. Now, got the X-ray scope. First of the 5 HUD items to go. They will actually go in order, surprisingly enough.
Do they actually? Because
Yeah, they do. Because Grapple's next, and then Powerbomb Super. No, yeah, you're right. I'm a liar. Don't listen to me. No, yeah, Supers go before Powerbombs.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, unfortunately it doesn't. But it would be cool if they did
That
go
would be
all go in
cool.
order.
I think it goes like 5, 4, 1, 2, 3. If you assign them a number in your head,
Yep.
like I just did.
No, I think it's 5, 4, 5, 4, 2, 1, 3. You're right, Hockey. Because Powerbombs go last.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Hockey's the real brain genius, right?
No, don't get it twisted,
Yeah.
Chad. I promise. I promise I'm
Get
not.
it twisted. He is the brain god.
The brain genius. That's why he's here.
Oh my God.
Hockey's the real star of the show.
Stop it, MM2. You're the current world record holder of this category, and you're running it GDQ Hotfix. specifically
And you're
parallel
commentating it,
universe. Oh my gosh,
True.
you're too much.
All right, so we start the Norfair extravaganza. It begins.
It begins. But wait, MM2.
But wait, Hockey,
You're not going to give up your ice beam, are you?
I'm not.
Oh,
That
okay.
will
I was
be
worried.
at the end. So, Ice Beam, for those who know, is right up there, right down the road, but we've got a few more errands to use it for. Mostly the 2 boss fights in Lower Norfair. And then we will be saying goodbye to it at the very end. But it's still got some duties to pull, so we need it.
For sure. Also, M2.
That is not how you do that.
What? Wait,
Yeah.
I love the Crumble Shaft D-Boost. You stuck that. It's like my favorite D-Boost.
It's so good.
But then you just had to undo it with just... you believed you could fly, MM2, and you did fly.
I did fly. Yeah, so that's the downside of arm pumping, is because sometimes if you move a pixel forward at the wrong time, you'll fall off the slope you're running on, and that happens. It's generally not good. But no, I think I saw Kip do that deboost in the, like, before the 2020 100% tournament, and I picked it up for that.
Nice.
I was like, this strat looks so cool. I'll just do that on the fly. And then
And look at you now.
And now I've still kept the strat.
Yeah, even though there's a faster strat out there now.
Oh.
Yeah, true. Gotta do the triple turnaround like Cicero.
Unfortunately, it's not as cool, but
But it's
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick, what I was doing over there at the edge of the room is what's called a wraparound shot. The way that works is because of the way the room data is stored in the game's engine. There's copies of the room right next to it for this type of room specifically. So when I shot a copy of the door on the left side, it was all the way over on the right side. So I pre-opened that door that I just shine sparked through, and saved a little bit of time. We actually did that at the very beginning of the run to get into Gauntlet via opening that door from the right side. But we didn't mention it then because we had more pressing things to talk about.
Like, you know, just the beginning
Yeah.
of the game and what this is and all
Yeah.
those other things, right?
Like, this is Unhundred. The items go away once you put them away.
The items.
You don't get them back. Ever.
You have to place them where they belong.
Yep. So, yeah, right up ahead is the grapple beam. We're saying goodbye to that one. It's been a great companion.
It has.
My favorite, personally.
sweet grapple. No.
Beautiful speedball there, MM2. But yeah, grapple, nothing opens doors faster than grapple beam. It's the fastest.
True.
Yeah, in one of my first runs, I tried to open this door with grapple, like you do in 100%, but you can't really open a door with an item that you don't have anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked extra smooth exiting Indiana Jones there, MM2. Kudos.
Best mock ball in the game.
It really is.
That's the name.
Little cosine room here. I always love this room. I thought it was so interesting, and all it has is a missile. All that work.
All that work. I'm actually going to do a farm here because it makes the acid line up better. And I'm doing farms anyway for the upcoming segment. So, I have 12 supers. I need 18 leaving this room because we need as many supers as possible for the Golden Chorizo fight. And this is the best place to farm when it's not really close. So we're just going to be here until we get 18 supers.
Getting closer.
So the the Golden Chorizo fight coming up is going to be pretty different from any other category that you've probably seen for Super Metroid, because we don't have Plasma Beam, and we don't have that many supers either. So we have to do some pretty interesting stuff to make up for it.
Yeah.
Would-
Okay, watch this drive.
Would you say you have to do S?
Let's go!
Oh,
That is, I think, the hardest strat I do in the run. And it saves half a second.
that's it. Pack it up.
Only if you
It's
go
over.
for it that aggressively and get it first try. But the reason it's so difficult is because of this wonderful thing in Super Metroid called short charging. the way the speed booster works to give you blue is it checks on 4 separate frames whether or not you're holding the run button, and doesn't check at all in between. And if you tap run on those 4 specific frames and maybe a few others around them, the tighter your taps get, the shorter of a distance you can do a charge in. If you're doing really well and do a stutter at the beginning, then you can do something like that. So, really dumb strat, don't recommend it, but it looks cool,
Don't be
so I went
fooled.
for it.
How about the,
MM2 is actually just really good at the game.
Yeah.
but what about this
Yeah.
next strat? We get a little bit more shades of GT Classic, or we get a little lava dive. Looks good so far. Stuck the landing. Nice job, MM2.
Nice.
So that is how you get through that
Yep.
room without gravity suit.
Yeah, there's actually like a bunch of different ways to do it.
But that's the way you did it. So there.
It is. So there. So yeah, that's just a little safety save, because once we put back screw attack, Lower Norfolk gets scary really quick. Because you're here on way less than intended equipment, and they hit like a truck. Like, most enemies are dealing somewhere on the order of 100 damage.
Oh, that's right,
And
yeah.
Not a fun time.
Because you
So,
don't have gravity suit, it doesn't have the 75% reduction, huh? Or
Yep.
however much it is, you only have 50%. Man, this is it. This is like, it's almost like a vanilla SM any percent loadout, but worse, because you have Vari instead of
Yep.
instead of gravity.
Yeah, if you're used to top level any percent speedruns, you'll see a couple strats that look familiar.
And that statue that MM2 just went into actually is the only other change in this hack, I believe. Where usually in the vanilla game it requires space jump for you to drain all the acid, but in this mod we do not need space jump to drain the acid. So thankfully,
Yeah.
that kind of changes up the routing for us a little bit.
So another mid boss here. This is Golden Trizo, as MM2 was talking about. He maximized his ammo. He's got 19 supers. You can see that GT grabs a super in between being hit with them. So you can sneak some in there, but that's why MM2 needed to have 18. Because how many hits do you actually get, MM2? Oh, are you
You get
are you busy
14,
or
I
something?
believe.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But
No, it's fine. We got the fight done, so it's all good. But no, that was actually a really good GT fight. What you want is just to be hitless, which is pretty easy, since you can just get them stuck in the corner like that. But okay. So, normally in runs I don't do this, but I'm going to take this refill, just so I don't die. Because these rooms get scary. Okay. And I do need to actually put this item back.
I was about to say MM2.
Go
leave.
back!
on
No, I'm breaking this box on
99%.
purpose so that I don't have to use a power bomb on them.
Oh,
Very
nice.
nice.
It's all calculated, MGA.
Calculated.
Never fear.
Masterful use of the moonwalk.
Yeah, that door jump is actually pretty tight. If beyond, I was on the last pixel. There's probably like 1 or 2 more pixels that'll work, but the closer you are to the door, the better. Then it's a fairly tight wall jump. Okay, this room is the worst room in the
Here it
game.
is.
We'll see why.
Worst room in the game. And it's coming off of really strong fast pillars, too. Oh, MM2.
I don't know. It looks pretty easy to me, MM2.
Oh my goodness.
You sure this is the worst room in the game?
This sandbagging runner, are you kidding me?
Yeah, so for those who don't know, all those pirates deal 100 damage and knock me out of my spin. So basically, if I mess up, I have to reset the room. There's a couple backups you can try, but a lot of the time you'll just end up chaining a lot of damage. Generally not having a good day. So the best strat is just to get the strat. Wise words.
Yeah.
And
I don't know, I think
the
I'm-
second best
I'm
thing to do
getting
is
it.
reset the room if necessary.
I'm being a coward here.
No,
I think you had it.
playing it safe.
I was not sure about it. Oh, this is not great. Okay, we're fine.
Very nice.
Okay. Okay, this is fine. Now we're gonna
This
need...
is impressive stuff. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, so now we got a Shine Spark Echo strat here to kill these two Keoners. It's a dual purpose strat. The first purpose is because they create a lot of lag for these power bombs, so we're going to have to use 2 at the end of the room right now. Second purpose is because they have a good shot to drop supers, and we need supers for the Ridley fight, because they speed it up roughly by 2 seconds each super. We have a max of 15. Nice! Got the great side hopper energy.
Nice.
So I can get the speedy jump. Not common. But Shine Spark Echoes are actually the most powerful source of damage we have in the run. They deal, I think it's 4,096 damage every frame. It's some ridiculous number. They only work on certain normal enemies, such as these metal pirates that we're about to face.
Yeah.
So,
Look at that. Kapow! I don't know, Kung Fu kicks versus Speed Echoes. Speed Echoes are gonna win every time.
it's true.
I love this.
Can't argue with
I
them.
love this Plower House. I love that you spark across Plower House. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, don't tell anybody that the real reason I spark across Flower House is because I'm too lazy to learn a real strat.
Oh my gosh, I think you just did. You told me not to tell anybody, but you told everyone.
I did, Hockey. I did it. I can't believe it. Okay, so this is the Ridley fight. Hardest fight in the run. It's a tough pickle.
Yeah, without supers, this is a 60-shot fight with this beam combination. 18,000 HP. But supers do double damage, which is why they're such a coveted resource for this fight.
7 after round.
You see MM2
We
manipulate.
want to get him stuck in a pogo over here. Then once he's pogoing again, we can do this manip to get him to turn around and pogo in the corner with a safe spot. We can just stand in here until he decides to do something else, like do a swoop right now. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's a great fight so far. MM2 really nice.
5, 6. Oh,
So close.
what a guy.
Oh, Ridley.
Alright. Ending wasn't fantastic, but everything else was pretty okay.
That was a really good
Well,
fight.
yeah.
I mean, you only got hit like what, twice? Like that was pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, having all the health means you need none of the health. Just how the speedruns work.
Yeah, but if you didn't take that refill, you would have needed the refill.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So now we've got the rest of Northford to do. A couple more rooms that are a bit scary, but
But with 6 tanks and reserves,
they're all solvable.
6 tanks and reserves M2, you can just kind of tank a lot of this on the escape.
Yep. Yeah. Those farm bugs deal like 10 damage, I believe, versus the owls, they deal 60. So we want to take the farm bug hits and then use the iframes to get through. Oh, dang it. Okay.
Don't tank that much health on them too.
It's okay, we got the E-Tank coming up.
Gotta stay alive.
So, yeah, I've got 4 hits plus reserve. Think we can make it?
I think so. Even though those Diskegas and Key Hunters hit like an absolute train. Did you get the number of the locomotive, MM2?
There we go.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so the bombs at the start of the room are actually a manipulation for the Key Hunters, so that they do the patterns that I need so I can get past them with minimal damage. Didn't go great, but didn't go horrible either. Now, the last E-Tank in Lower Norfair. Really comfy refill for the ending. Because there's the Gauntlet of the 3 Musketeers at the end, which is 3 more Keoners that you gotta get past in some way, shape, or form. in any percent, it's actually kind of stressful. There are manipulations, but not perfect. And then in this, it's more you just play it as you go for a couple of reasons. Two more items before that comes up, though.
Can I say, MM2, that it's so strange to be seeing someone go for this missile pack without doing the Hoda Ruby special, but you gave up Spring Ball a long time ago.
It's true. Spring Ball, we said goodbye to ages and ages ago. Wish we could have it back just for that room.
Just for that room. And shout-outs to Hoda, legendary, like, vintage runner.
Yep. Yeah, Hoda Ruby. The Hoda Ruby special is a strategy to get that missile and then do a spring ball bounce to break the top of the room. It's an old strat, but it's still good. Top runners still do it. But okay, so see those key hunters up there? They're going to be the final boss of Lower Norfair. So we got plenty of health to tank them though, so it'd be fine if I can get out of here.
No, MM2. Oh, got those moves. Smooth moves. My goodness. That was a really nice escape.
Now we take another turn. It's less about trying to survive, and just, at this point, it's really getting through the rooms as fast as possible with the limited movement that we have left. Because very soon we're going to be putting away the speed booster, and then soon after that we'll be putting away the high jump boots, and our movement's going to become a lot different from what we've been used to.
For sure. And now that most of the bosses are defeated, you get to put all the beams back too. Starting with the wave beam.
Yep. Yeah, wave beam goes first, ice beam will come later. Whoa. Oh,
Nice.
That's interesting.
That was a nice double chamber though.
Yeah, good recovery.
Good recovery.
Saving the last super, the screen door.
Oh wow, yeah. I should have been paying better attention to your resources. That was cutting it pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah, ideally we have 4 supers at least leaving Ridley, but we only got 2. And we need 1 for that door and 1 for the Fire Fleet E-Tank. So had enough to make do with what we got. Now we say goodbye to our best friend, the Speed Booster.
Oh.
The item that makes us go fast. Or in this hack, the Sprint Boots.
My sprinting boots.
Yeah, I forget that this exists. Yeah. Also, another fun fact, the Sprint Boots place text is a tile lower than all the other item name texts.
Oh my gosh, MM2. How do you notice such things?
You'll never
So
be
funny.
able to unsee it.
It's true, I won't.
I was just gonna say, I'm never gonna forget that now.
Yep. You're welcome. So yeah, our last super farm of the run, hopefully. Gotta farm up to around about 10. 9, it'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Crate will help.
Oh, another lovely D-boost, this time across Bubble Mountain to get to the Norfair Reserve. Very nicely done, MM2.
Yeah. Now we got the Norfair Reserve, as Hockey mentioned. We can do the lava launch, hopefully.
The lava launch.
Nice.
Like that's like the lava launch junior. The real lava launch gets you all the way to the top of the missile pack, and then you can go to the reserve
Oh
tank
my
from there.
gosh. Lava
I
launch.
think Crokemeyer
Junior.
named that strat.
Oh, shout outs to Croak.
What a guy,
A
Croak.
legend in the vanilla and the fan game Super Metroid community for sure.
I think Croak is like qualified for most esoteric SM runner.
Oh, yeah.
He's just
de-
he's such a
definitely in the
personality.
run. Yeah.
He's got more moves than
Yeah.
Kung Fu. He's got I bet you Croak has forgotten more about Super Metroid than any of us has ever learned.
I would not be surprised, Hockey.
I'm confident saying that. I swear.
Oh yeah. The last missile in Bubble Mountain. Now we gotta go out the way that you're supposed to come in for the first time. Except it's in reverse, so it's a lot more annoying.
I love that this room is normally called Rising Tide, but the tide doesn't rise if you enter it from right to left.
Yeah,
So
it's
funny.
true. It's Rising Tide, though.
So what should we call it now? Tide?
Yeah, just tide.
Stagnant tide.
Stagnant Tide. I like it. You're hired, MGA.
Thanks.
You get to name all the rooms.
Yep.
Yeah. First on the list is Spiky Acid Snakes Tunnel, which is neither a tunnel nor has acid snakes. Has neither acid nor snakes. It's got lava.
Gosh, what is this? Rhode Island's neither a road nor an island. What is going on right now?
Oh god.
In the meantime, just a reminder to those of you watching on Twitch that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. So if you're enjoying the run, if you enjoy the other Hotfix content, please consider subscribing to the channel.
The Ice Beam. It's our last... Well, no, it's our last beam in Norfair that we gotta place. Still got 2 left, though.
2 more.
2 more.
But this next one is a doozy. One of the best
Yeah.
items in the game, but you got a lot of mileage out of it, MM2. It doesn't owe you anything.
Yeah.
And gets the the mock ball to escape from ice.
Yeah. That's actually harder without ice. The iceless ice escape mock ball. You have to wait for the trippers to be on a certain cycle and then run off at the right time. So normally you can just freeze the trippers in place and use them as platforms, which is what the game wants from you. Well, it wants to freeze enemies. But you can just run along the platform enemies as platforms, even if they're moving. It's just harder.
But MM2 does it with style and panache once again.
Style and Panache are MM2's middle names.
Thanks. I'm adding them to the list, MGA.
Yeah, that's all I've ever seen in this run. If I'm honest.
And now, at last, our Norfair extravaganza comes to an end. It's been fun, but we're done.
Goodbye.
Now we got we gotta do Kraid's Lair at some point.
Got to. But goodbye, Norfair. Thank you for sucking away all of our best items, basically.
Basically.
Yeah. Screw attack, speed booster, high jump. I mean, honestly,
2 different beams. Like, come on.
2 different
Norfair's
beams.
sad.
And grapple, too. Don't
And
forget about that.
Yeah,
3
different
different
beams.
Oh my gosh.
So, now we got Kraid. Kraid is short and sweet, just like the boss fight. Just gotta head in, put your items back, head out.
That's right. Yeah, MM2 will be setting up for Kraid quick kill, with some lag reduction at the beginning, since Kraid's pretty laggy when he
Kraid is very
when he
laggy.
enters his
Kraid fills
chamber.
up the entirety of VRAM, actually.
Maximum VRAM. So that little bomb turn around, bomb yourself into position, and then we're gonna see MM2 shooting down or taking some damage on the spikes before.
Yeah,
For
can't shoot down because we don't have wave.
Oh,
That
that's
only works
right.
with wave.
Good point. Stun lock, 3 supers, done. Perfect. Textbook Kraid quick kill, as seen.
Masterfully done with style and panache.
That's right. Not an esoteric strat though, MG. I think that one is
Yeah.
relatively common.
Yeah, you see it a bit. Just every once in a while.
But definitely the style and panache off the charts.
Truly, this movement set is really the maximum style and panache, all in one combo. We got Mini Crate. Mini Crate helps us a lot because he drops 4 supers every time. That's a risk.
What a gentleman and a scholar.
Really, he is a gentleman. But he helps in a lot of different ways. Having the supers. Now, our last item in Kraid's lair. Then, after this, we put away the Spazer Beam. Then we gotta go back up Red Tower.
What would a visit to Kraid's warehouse be without stopping at the janitor's closet to drop off a E-tank? What would it be?
What would it be? I mean, all the time we're just taking his E-tanks out of the closet. So we gotta, like, come around every once in a while and help replenish the supply.
Just put it right back on the shelf where it belongs. And also, shoutouts to Spazer Beam, the absolute workhorse of this category. The beam that you keep for the longest amount of time, asterisk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we have it since the beginning until now. Unless you're going to count Charge Beam, but...
Yeah, hence the asterisk, but, you know.
Charge only works for bosses.
That's true.
Spazer does everything.
Plus, Charge by itself is kind of terrible.
It's not great. Let me tell you that. Okay.
Yeah, this is a pretty tough room with this item loadout, but MM2 using an infinite bomb jump. It's all rhythm and timing here.
Yeah, just gotta keep putting one bomb in front of the other. And one of these days, we will get up to the top. Really the middle.
There we go. Nice, MM2.
Yeah. There's actually a really, really cursed double horizontal bomb jump strat that you can use to save roughly 20 seconds in this room, but as previously mentioned, it's really, really cursed. It's one of those Supreme strats. Shoutouts to Supreme.
Shoutouts.
Now a little blue gate glitch here done with missiles. Nicely done.
Nice.
Yeah, you can do it with supers too. The exact same timing, exact same mechanics. You just typically use missiles because supers are more valuable. And that power bomb has 2 purposes actually, which is why I laid it so high in the ceiling. It opens the way to Charge Beam, and then in around about 15 seconds, it'll open the way to the Spore Spawn supers so that we can get in there. Real nice little piece of rando tech, actually. But right over here, we're gonna stand on a certain pixel and fire super into the wall, and it's gonna have just enough time to get to the off-screen super block so that we can backdoor this set of missiles, super missiles.
You mean to tell me after all this MM2, you're not even gonna have the dignity to fight Spore Spawn?
You know, Hockey, I might just do it for you, but I'm not going.
You have chosen wisely.
Yeah, I've had enough fun with Spore Spawn, all the memes that we do. Glad to just let him be.
Yeah.
The planet doesn't even explode, so spoilers. Actually, no, the planet does explode.
Oh, double spoilers.
The planet does explode in the credits. But it doesn't look like it's exploding. It's there's no time bomb. You just leave and it cuts the cutscene of the planet exploding at the end.
The self-destruct sequence required Samus putting all 100 items back in a specific order as quickly as possible.
Yep.
On the home stretch here, but that wave gate room is pretty dangerous after you give up that E-tank, because it takes you down to what, like 299?
Yeah, I forgot to even talk about it, but that's another gate glitch. It's not really all that complicated. You just shoot the super in a precise spot, and it goes so fast that on one frame it's on one side of the gate, and on the other frame it's on the other side. It's really all there is to it.
Bending the laws of Super Metroid physics.
Mm-hmm.
And no, for you Hundo fans out there, no Mission Impossible cannot be done.
Yeah. Task can do it without high jump, but we mere humans do in fact need high jump for it.
Because not only does high jump make you jump higher, but your acceleration, your jump speed is so much higher.
Yeah. It's also you just have to have high jump in order to be able to get out of that gap.
For sure.
Task has to like do a wall jump off the pillar or something really cursed. It's not fun from when I've looked at it.
Now you wouldn't say it's RTA viable, MM2?
I would not. Though, I mean, if somebody wants to do it, good luck.
But if you did it, do you think you would do it with... What was that phrase, MGA?
Style and panache. Let's go.
Some low-hanging fruit now.
It's okay, this next stream is going to be filled with some
Every
debuts
time we
full of
on MO2's runs,
style
we
and
have to
panache.
mention style and panache.
Oh, they are his middle names after all. We can't refer to him by any other moniker. I mean,
True. We got through here. Get to see the Eticoons.
goodbye,
Unfortunately, you
Eticoons.
can't see the decor anymore because we don't have the speed booster to get down there. We've got the Eticoons. And I suppose we should talk about last items.
Yeah.
So, the way it works in this game is when you put your last item away, you have to be able to get out of there without that item, which is actually a really big part of the routing of this run. Is you have to be able to get out of here without that item. It's mostly a challenge for super missiles and power bombs. Super missiles are pretty easy. We can just use the one that we get first in the speedrun. In the vanilla game. Just go up top, put the early supers back in their home, and then we don't have supers anymore, but we don't need them to get out. Power bombs are a little trickier. So there's two good candidates. There's the vanilla alpha power bombs. Power bombs you get first in the speedrun and in your casual playthrough. They're not locked by power bombs. And then there's the power bombs that are behind the morph ball, which I dodged earlier in the run. Those are locked by power bombs in the vanilla game because there's a big wall of power bomb blocks. But if they're your last pack, you can use a power bomb to break the blocks, put the item back, and the blocks will still be gone. So you can just walk out of there, find a dandy, put your morph ball back.
So you can use the power bomb before losing the power bomb? Is that what you're saying, MM2?
It's true. You can
Incredible.
use it before you lose it.
And we finally returned to Terminator. We have come back. Oh, MM2.
Yeah.
Nicholas
Normally I wouldn't missile that pyre down. I'd take the last hit and go down to 03 health.
Oh my
But
gosh.
Just wanted to be just that little bit of extra safe, because if you die here, then it's kind of over for going under estimate, to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a marathon-style run after all.
Yeah. Had to do one extra farm for missiles. We got the last use of missiles in this run will be to open this pink door, and then we'll use them in this boss fight.
Like, can you believe this, chat? Like, we're seeing a BT fight at the end of the game with more or less the same loadout as you would have, plus, you know, some 3 power bombs, you know?
Yeah.
It's just...
How helpful they'll be.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah, it's the ultimate weapon against Bomb
Imagine
Teresa.
we actually find some Easter egg where BT is actually vulnerable to power bombs. I think
you
you should
imagine?
use one here.
Can you imagine?
I mean, everybody's always been theorizing about BT being vulnerable to normal bombs, so
Maybe they've just been using the wrong bomb this whole time.
maybe. Who knows?
But I am proud to report that MM2 successfully avoided the decapitation animation. So
We had to bring the joke back. Let's go,
I
Hockey.
had to.
Masterfully done with style and panache.
Oh man,
Oh, MGA,
that joke is really pulling its weight.
It really.
I'm so happy.
Go to the well. Just go to the well.
Okay, last missile pack. Hopefully.
This is, what would you call this, the negative 230 missile pack? I mean, what is it?
Yeah, the 0th missile
zeroth
pack. The
missile
5th missile
pack?
pack.
And that's it. Goodbye, missiles.
Goodbye, missiles. Whew. The missile icon didn't disappear there, then that means I forgot something.
This is it. Get one more moonfall. So is this like your 4th moonfall down here?
I think it's my 3rd.
3rd, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we traversed this room in this direction 3 times.
And I love this, that like,
Yeah.
the enemies
And then
are
we go off
gone.
at the very end.
The fog is back. Like, it's just so interesting.
Yeah. I think that's because in the vanilla game, having the enemies there is triggered by having morph and missiles.
Yeah.
We don't
and
have missiles anymore.
It's like a reverse flag. It's like a reverse trigger. It's amazing.
Yep. So, morph still is not here, because you got one more item to place. Right over here.
Our bombs are placed. And that's it. But wait.
That's it.
We gotta go.
But wait.
We gotta go for a ride.
Yeah. So the last thing we have to do is, since the game is on the Super Nintendo, we can't really just spawn an item in whenever we like. We have to reload the room to make that happen. So we go up and down the elevator one last time. And then Morph will be here. And we'll be able to say goodbye to the planet.
Got my favorite elevator music playing in my head right now, MM2. But I can't say what it is because of copyright reasons.
But can you hum it?
I cannot because of copyright reasons. But if I did hum it, MGA, I might do it with style and panache.
Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So, for all the animal lovers, because we don't have Morph anymore, we can't save them. Truly the worst fate possible.
It's
But,
so over.
Yeah, it's just how it goes.
Would they even be there?
I mean, the escapist flag isn't set, so
Right.
who knows?
I think he would just go and fight BT again. And recollect the bombs. If you could. I don't know.
Yeah, so time's coming up here. Be when I face forward on the ship. And without the steam. It's a chill little exit onto the ship. Time.
GG's, MM2.
GG.
We did it.
GG. Excellently done. With style and panache, even.
Thank you, Helix.
Thank you,
All right.
Alex.
Any shout-outs before we set up for the next run?
I'll just say shoutouts to the SM community, to my good friends Mr. Guy Average and the Hockey Towner for joining me on comms for this run. Really to the Rando community, because we're doing Rando tournament right now, and my friends for inspiring me to keep pushing myself in this game and all the silly things I do. But yeah, I think that's it for me. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next mission.
Thank you, all three of you, for being on. That was a phenomenal showcase. Always a blast. Just to see games played in strange ways. I mean, that was part of why I pitched the show idea, and so once you pitched Unhundred to me, I was like, yes, we have to have this. So yeah, thank you again so much. We here at GDQ Hotfix are going to, if I could speak English, are going to take a quick break so I can relearn how to use the English language, and also so we can set up for Super Metroid Subversion. In the meantime, do me a favor, head on over to youtube.com/gamesdonequick and hit subscribe if you have not yet done so. If you've missed any of this run, or any of our other hotfix programming, or any of SGDQ that's coming up starting on Sunday, you will be able to catch all of the VODs over on youtube.com/gamesdonequick. We will be right back. Do not go away. There's more Super Metroid mod content on the way. And welcome back to GDQ Hotfix and to the Super Metroid episode of Parallel Universe, the show all about community-created content. Before we get into the action, just a quick reminder that GDQ's next all-women and femme speedrunning event, Flame Fatales, returns August 18th through 25th, and volunteer applications are open now until July 10th. Use !FF in Twitch chat to check out the schedule and let us know what you're looking forward to the most. Now, with that said, we have another Super Metroid mod here. So, what is Super Metroid Subversion? Take it away. Tell us what this is about.
Oh, hello. Okay, so I'm Aldraxis. You can call me Aldra. I have Amoeba of Doom here with me on commentary, who is one of the two co-authors of this mod, and it's very incredible. It's a full game mod. All the levels are different. It has a pretty advanced kind of riveting plot line. There's a lot of event sequences that you have to do that will be completely breaking, and a few mechanical changes.
Sounds good to me. Give us a countdown when you're ready.
Okay, so we are off in 3, 2. Oh, this is map screen start. Hold on. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, best of luck.
Alright, so we start out on the spaceport, which has lower gravity than vanilla. There's actually going to be different levels of gravity in this mod.
Oh, that's fascinating. So that's already quite the change.
I wanted to put in a puzzle that used the low gravity, but it didn't work out.
This is kind of the Sirius Station equivalent area, except it's a bit more complicated, and we'll actually be returning to it later as part of the plot. This room is called Compartments, and it's as difficult to execute as the climb in vanilla Super Metroid, and that went very, very well. There was an uppercut there that it's just very easy to miss and bonk my head. And that part of the room is also really laggy, so it's really easy to mistime the jump and fall down, so very happy with that. One thing that you'll notice is we have room names printed out in the bottom left, which I'm a big fan of the Metroid Prime games, and I think those are probably the inspiration for that.
Yep. I think I had the list of all the Prime room names open at one point. As a reference, just to help name some of the rooms. It's that the room naming itself went through more than one iteration. The version that you see here with the room names kind of on the lower left corner is it's much better than what we had before. We used to have them kind of on the top row of the HUD, which you actually can't even see here because it'd be in the overscan area. The other thing was putting these area names. So we actually just went from one sub area from the cargo ship back to the spaceport.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and hit that and then jump right under the tripper. Okay. That room goes very poorly if you mess that up. Oh, and we have 3 missile doors as well, and we also have universal ammo, so I'll be grabbing a small ammo tank from here. A couple of the early game ammo tanks are pretty important as far as not slowing the player down, because we have actually a lot of ammo checks early in the game. There's lots of doors in some places. We'll be visiting an area called the Pirate Lab about 15 minutes in. That is going to... there are a bunch of pirates that we have to kill in a row. There's a pirate gauntlet, and it's very slow to kill them with anything other than missiles, so we're just trying to get these ammo pickups early game. Oh, and we have a gate glitch coming up. You are probably familiar with gate glitches if you've seen like Super Metroid randomizers or reverse boss order and stuff like that. You might know that you generally cannot glitch gates with the button on the right side. However, we can in this because do you want to talk about the change that you made to these gates that accidentally made this possible?
So these gates are actually completely recoded from the vanilla ones. Although they behave a little bit similar, they're a lot more customizable and a lot more things that they do. And one of the changes that they do is how they write the data to the collision in order to make them be solid. And in the vanilla game, there is a special tile that they use to basically try and prevent the shots from going through it. And this hack doesn't use that tile. So it's an ordinary solid tile, and you can shoot through it. You could actually shoot through a single tall tile in vanilla if there's any use for that.
Yeah, you can do bot to and from reverse that way without wave beam.
Yep.
It's extremely annoying, but it is possible.
It's essentially the same technique, but it works on all the gates. And so if you played this with a lot of experience with Super Metroid, and you want to go and say, hey, all the gates are de-cheesed, I can't glitch them. Well, it turns out you just have to learn new tech.
Okay, so we are on the planet proper now, and the gravity is ridiculously heavy. And it's like extremely prohibitive. If you crouch jump down grab, which is like the sort of advanced technique you're not really supposed to do. Oh, I almost got that bonk ball. Basically, only reason I didn't get it was that I bonked the ledge. But yeah, so you can like only jump like a tile, basically, maybe like a tile and a half.
I think a crouch jump gives you a tile and a half. Yeah. It's kind of funny. This started off like really early. We were kind of just like joking around, and we're like, what if you have high jump boots? What if jump boots was an item?
It's just like being able to jump at all.
Yeah, just being able to jump at all. And it's like I can kind of make that but then it kind of became part of the intro kind of sequence of the game.
What's kind of funny is my favorite mod is Super Metroid redesign. I'm very annoying about it, by the way. Most people hate it, but that one is known for having extremely heavy gravity. This is my second favorite, and this gravity just kind of really takes the cake from it. You don't have to play through it for very long though, because yeah, we get our jump boots, which are called the gravity boots. So also there's a logbook in this, more Metroid Prime inspiration, and I won't really be showing it, but you can menu to it, and there's like entries that explains like what each item does, and gravity boots sets your gravity to 1G, which is basically like what it would be if you were playing on Zebus, like the vanilla game.
Right, so that applies to anywhere that there is different gravity. So if you bring this to the station where we had low gravity, the gravity is actually increased, and those jumps become harder. But you'll have better equipment, so the harder jumps don't feel any worse.
So we basically need gravity boots to be able to do anything. You mentioned that there was one puzzle that you made involving actual use of them as an item. Like you have to remember they exist so that you can turn them off. But like aside from that, generally like casual play of Subversion is you will pick up the gravity boots and you'll just forget that they were a thing because they're just the let you play the game normally item. But we are actually going to be... it turns out they're extremely broken, and we're going to be doing a trick with them called Super Sync. Just going to come up a bit later. Let's see.
Yeah,
Super Sync
I think there
exists.
are two known tricks, right? There's Super Sync and Gravity Fall. We're just going to do Super Sync in this round. But they both rely on uncapping your fall speed, and like you might see in a vanilla run, but you're gonna do it with a really, really high gravity, so you accelerate really fast.
I might not have like the mental bandwidth to explain supersync, but we're not gonna do it for like another 5-10 minutes, so that's probably fine. So right now we're just getting a couple items in, it's like very like early game Brinstar-ish kind of role that this area plays. It's called Vulner Caves. Vulner is the name given to like a giant volcano on this planet, basically. So here there's Vulner Caves, which is like a pretty tame area, and then like much later in the game there's an area called Vulner Root, which is the lower Norfair equivalent, which is like the inside of the volcano, and we won't be going there at all because we skip a whole bunch of stuff in this run, but yeah, just a little bit of lore.
It's actually a whole bunch of areas that we don't see.
Yeah, so you should look this game up and give it a try if you can figure out the patching process. It won't be spoiling all of it. Oh, okay, so there's a ridiculously hard clip there. Actually, I should have gone for it, but like I thought it was 1 second faster, and I timed it, and it's not faster. So I've just totally forgotten to do the super hard swag clip. So we just got Speedball, which is the spring ball. Not really a replacement, but it's kind of... It does spring ball stuff and more. So you saw in that tunnel, I was able to run as a ball, and once you get Speed Booster, you'll be able to like speedball without having to do the advanced technique that you'd normally have to do in vanilla to get it to work. Oh, that is... I haven't fallen through that crumble in a while.
Yeah, that hopper... The hopper's there to be mean.
That's like the worst outcome possible. I'm gonna save here, just for safety and also to refill my health a little bit. There are... The reserve tanks in this have been repurposed to slightly different, I guess, function. They're called refuel tanks, and for every refuel tank you pick up, save stations will refill 100 plus 99 energy. So I have 0, so they're just refilling 99 energy currently. So you don't get full refills from them like Prime, but it is like an interesting mechanic for heat runs, and here's a pretty normal looking bomb Teresa fight. Just kidding, there's actually 3 of them.
Yeah, getting these like SNES to accept all these at the same time had some compromises. You saw some of those balls were turning or fading out the black while being thrown. A little juggling of pellets.
This health
And that's why
pretty
they're
bad.
Yeah. But yeah, people who haven't seen this before and they get to that fight, and I think that's when people are usually like, oh, there is actually some new stuff in this. And it's like, did you play the last 20 minutes, you know?
A lot of the changes in this are like a lot of these tile sets are like very recognizable from vanilla, and then you get later in the game and a lot of them are just like completely different. It kind of eases you into the more drastic changes.
Yeah, I know there are other ones, games out there where people do a lot more custom art. I kind of had the approach I wanted to make it be more like Zeeb's.
This is a
in terms of
speedball
style.
check, by the way. You're supposed to need speedball to cross that crumble bridge.
Yep. There's speedball and bombs. This game kind of has a pattern where you often need 2 items to progress. So the next item check often checks for 2 items, and then those items can be gotten in any order. So it's like it's a mix of linearity and non-linearity. A little bit less linear than a vanilla, casual run that you might do your first time, but it's going to be more linear than an expert, seasoned player would approach it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was one of the big challenges with this, was making it so that people who are pretty experienced with Super Metroid would actually be forced to play a game like
Oh, this jump
an
is really
Explorer.
hard with high jump on. So you can you can use the inside of that door to gravity jump to get into this area before high jump, and it's 1 second faster, but I'm a lot more comfortable with the movement here, and it's much easier to dodge the really damaging enemies here with high jump. This is the pirate lab, by the way. It's an important area plot-wise because it has a giant space elevator that connects the planet to the spaceport, and we need to go back to the spaceport. Our ship is still there for one, and the key to, basically the keys to ending the game are also there, so we're required to go back. Just gotta be careful. Okay. Should be safe from dying now. This is a kill room of pirates that are actually vulnerable to beam shot, so... Or rather, they actually died of one beam shot, so... Much better. So the thing preventing us from getting back to... Oh, this room went really well. That is hard to do with that atomic in the way. Yeah, so one of the ultimate goals is to get back to the spaceport after Ridley threw you out of the airlock. I kind of glossed over that, but there is a laser blocking the path to the spaceport elevator. It's made of a material called verdite, which is very plot-centric to this game. So it's a mineral native to this planet that is able to be used for heavy weaponry. Essentially, we'll find out later, it's the key to hyper beam. So to get past this verdite laser, we have to progress through about half of the game and find the energy plant down in the depths, which is a heated area. And we have to shut the power off, which controls the power for the entire planet. It's a really cool event flag system where there's sort of room states. I don't know that you exactly used room states for most of it, but there's different lasers and different things powered on and off by gates that throughout the planet that once you shut the power off, it completely changes how the routes in the planet work.
Yep. It's I wouldn't say it's all states, I guess, in the kind of engine technical sense. Some of it is just things checking the flags. But it definitely changes the map, and we actually had to be very careful about how the world was laid out in order to be able to have essentially kind of 2 maps.
Ooh, okay, I'm about to do the first super sync. So really quick explanation, I guess, is I need to do a frame perfect unmorph to do a sort of glitch that freezes my vertical speed. And then when I unequip gravity boots, it changes what my fall speed cap is. So when I turn around, I go past the original cap, and then when I turn the gravity boots back on, I have a lower fall speed cap. But now I'm above what the game thinks the actual fall speed cap is supposed to be, so it just lets me keep building up speed downward until I clip through the floor. That actually might be as far as I get into it, because like it gets way more complicated.
Yeah, I think it's kind of related to like Moondance in terms of the like flipping backwards to get more speed, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not the person to ask about how Moondance works. I am not a moon follower.
I mean, even on a surface level, that seems fascinating. I love when weird interactions like that happen and end up being really useful.
Yeah, so we're gonna do another one here. Because I'm able to get myself crouch wedged in this door. That is like a free way to store my vertical speed that is not pixel perfect. So if you are able to wedge yourself in a two-tile space like this, super sinks are much easier to execute. This skips a room called Ocean Vent, which is like a lava rising room. We have to kill 3 key hunters. Oh, this isn't like real gravity suit, by the way. This is Aqua Suit, which only does 25% damage reduction. And it does let you move through water, but it does not protect you from lava. And neither does Varia, actually. There's a third suit that we'll be getting much later. Oh, the super sync I did to clip through the green door to get here faster actually skips a unique or like a custom item in this game, which is the Dark Visor from Metroid Prime 2. And that is behind Kraid, so we are skipping Kraid this run. We do not have the Dark Visor. There are switches that hard require the Dark Visor to hit, so that like casual players don't accidentally progress without it and get lost and stuff. But you're supposed to use it for dark rooms as well, and there's some invisible enemies we'll have to contend with later as a result of not having Dark Visor.
Yeah, so it's actually only the invisible switches that check to see if you had Dark Visor before they'll activate. So if you see any of the ones that you actually can see in the game, will interact regardless.
Right.
But yeah, that's in there because otherwise there's a couple places where where it acts as a check, and if you could hit them, like everybody would just wander off into these like dark areas, which are not actually great.
Yeah, so one of the next things you're supposed to be doing with Dark Visor is once you get super missiles in Dark Visor, you're supposed to go. Oh wait, no, Wave Beam is pre-supers, right?
Yeah, but so there's a gate there that you can actually using the traditional green gate glitch also works. I think we kind of knew that everyone was gonna sequence break that one once they got supers, but supers and wave beam are technically can be gotten in either order, and having watched a lot of people play, not everybody gets supers first, even though it's the closer item.
Anyway, we are skipping Wave Beam. This is a brand new addition to the any percent route. This actually inspired me basically like routing all achievements for this game, and I realized that it is faster to skip Wave Beam at any percent. So Wave Beam, we go through a bunch of dark room sections to get to Spore Spawn. And there's a pretty terrible Spore Spawn fight with like the Mega Man disappearing blocks, and it's dark in the room and stuff. Wave Beam is supposed to get you through like the lower section called the service sector. We'll be going through it a bit later, but it's like a sort of subterranean complex that gets you to the second half of the Pirate Lab. Because we do not have Wave Beam, we cannot there's some obstacles that we cannot deal with going that way. So what we're actually going to do to get beyond the second half of the Pirate Lab is we're going to go back into the first half. There is a room called Central Corridor that is basically a divider between the two halves, and it has screw tack blocks. Screw tack is a very, very late game item that once you get it, the custom screw tack blocks will like open up a lot of different paths for you. But we are just going to super sync through them.
Yeah, so those blocks that look like they are breakable, maybe on the screen, are those are the the screw attack blocks. There you
Okay,
go.
and we're in the second half of Pirate Lab.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, that trick exists in vanilla, like, but without the brokenness of the gravity boots. The only way to really do it is the only way to like really break the fall speed cap in a way that allows you to super sync is using grapple beam. You have to like do a very sharp arc downward in a grapple swing, and then do the pixel perfect unmorph to start your vertical speed. So it's extremely, extremely difficult in vanilla, and has like very, 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 very few applications. So this is my favorite area in the game, mostly because of the music. This is Life Temple. The custom music track that was used is like a Green Brinstar remix of a song from Shantae game. I think Shantae and the Seven Pirates or something.
It's 7 Seas, I think. Yeah.
Or yeah, I forget. I don't know the games that well.
I think it sounds better actually than the original song.
Why did I say Seven Pirates? That's stupid. Yeah, it does sound better. I looked at the original song and I was actually rather disappointed.
Yeah, it sounds really great with the Green Brinstar sound font. I believe we got a lot of the stuff from we're just kind of sitting there unused. There's a bunch of basically composers, people who do music ports in the Super Metroid community, and there's just like tons of these that were just unused. So yeah, we sat there and listened to all of them and said like, well, do we like this one? Do we like this one? What area would it go in?
Okay, so this room is on the way to Speed Booster, and there's like a 3-gate switch puzzle here to free the Decora. And Wave Beam is expected for 2 of the switches, so we're gonna have to do some shenanigans. For this one in particular, we have to do a very specific super sync setup that is gonna require like 3 like turnings on and off of gravity boots, and that's because I need my fall speed to be at specific values in order to not get stuck in the floor at a bad spot and soft lock. Okay, there we go.
Right, you can also just go too far and clip out of the room, which is so the fact that you guys worked
Oh, okay,
out...
second try. You can run out of ammo
Nice.
on this super shot, and it's bad news. So I'm very glad I got that quickly. I love that room in concept. Like, it's just so cool that that series of tricks is in the run now, but it is a pain. And we've got... Do you want to talk about the Crocomire fight?
Yeah, so Crocomire is this real... what?
Boink.
Yeah, so Crocomire is this complicated fight where you just knock him off the edge. That is the only way to kill him. But you come in here and you assume it's supposed to be like the regular croc fight, and you go and like push him back, and the game is giving you hint after hint, like you're supposed to do something more complicated. And
There's text in the logbook, and there's like speed blocks in the room in certain
Yep.
spots.
And the item is in the room, and
Oh, also, this room stinks.
but it's kind of funny, the people who love that fight and the people who hate it. You know.
I don't know, I liked it because I actually read the logbook. I know some people like don't like, and like some people, I think, like when they play games, sometimes they do read text and it just kind of like, it kind of goes in one eye and out the other and they don't really notice.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's also some people who are just, you know, they don't want to have hints or whatever. So they're, you know, I'm not going to look at the thing that's giving me hints. But and it's absolutely possible to beat this without the logbook, but it's kind of the difficulty of the puzzles are balanced around it. And that's also where like half the lore is, so.
Yeah, you should probably read it. Also, I said that room stinks because it's called, the room name is Malodorous Recess, so... it's just a stupid joke I make every time I go through the room. And, oh, the Veranda Spark. This Shine Spark is in the title demos, which is really cool.
Yeah, sometimes I think people call it the demo spark. Because nobody knew that could be done until they actually watched the demos.
Okay, so I have a space jump. It is actually single use right now. I have to wait for it to recharge. There are items throughout the game, custom items called space jump boosts, and each one adds another space jump to your counter. Up to a total of 9, and the more that you have, the faster they are going to regenerate. So, but actually, if all goes according to plan, I will not be picking up any of the space jump boosts, so we're essentially just gonna have a double jump for the whole run, unless there's a specific mistake I can make that will result in me getting another space jump boost. I guess we may see if that happens. But, yeah.
Oh, hopefully it works out.
I hate this room. I put a lot of effort into like getting this room down, and then I just do something dumb like that, and it ruins all of it.
I mean, I kind of love that room. I know it's difficult to traverse. There really isn't a good way to traverse it. And that's not why I love it. I just spent a lot of time getting that whole like background and to work. And
we're actually about coming up in this when I go up the next elevator, we're gonna be ready for a break. Not this tram, but like the elevator right after it.
Duly noted. We will be ready. This is a lot of fun so far, though. I enjoy the personality that this mod has as well.
Glad to hear it. Yeah, I'll just be pausing after this elevator ride, and everyone can go grab a drink, stretch their legs, and whatnot. Yeah, right after this, I will be pausing.
This is a great time to, stretch your legs, grab some water. We're going to take a brief break. We'll be right back. Do not go anywhere. Super Metroid Subversion will continue in just a moment. Hello everyone, thank you all for sticking around through the break, and welcome back again to Parallel Universe, the show all about community-created content. We will continue with Super Metroid Subversion in just a second. Right before that, a quick reminder that GDQ is going to PAX West. We will be releasing the schedule July 14th, and you can use !PAX in Twitch chat for more info. I'll be there. I hope to see some familiar faces there. But with all that said, Audra, please continue playing through Super Metroid Subversion.
Okay, with pleasure. Alright, so we're resuming in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so this new area is called the Sky Temple, and there are 2 places to enter it, and we're entering the wrong one. So these are screw tack blocks. We are backdooring this with a super sync, and we are also taking cold damage, which is a custom addition to this mod. I don't think I got this frame, but eventually I just gotta try it. No, I didn't get it.
Yeah, so you can see cold damage doesn't tick very much. It's a very, friendly damage run, compared to what you might find in some other games.
There's a mechanic later in the run that makes it much worse to deal with. Just pretty interesting.
Yeah. So cold has some lore properties in the Metroid series, and that will be relevant later.
So we're going straight to Various Suit, which is the second suit, and it's like really one of the what I thought was like one of the main subversions in this. You get Various Suit second. It's not uncommon to get Various Suit second in mods, but what is uncommon is having the Varia palette be the one that takes priority. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, one of the things that in order to handle kind of all the suits required kind of rewriting the whole suit palette code. So I fixed that while I was at it.
So what we skipped by not going in the front of Sky Temple was we skipped our first, our second, I guess, Ridley encounter. So we're supposed to find Ridley here. Find out that Ridley is completely invulnerable. There's no way to kill it. There's a log entry stating as such. And you bypass Ridley with a gate. And then you go straight to a Fantoon fight. And the Fantoon fight is what's supposed to unlock Various Suit. Now, not only is that slower to do, obviously, but we actually cannot kill Fantoon here because you need Dark Visor to see him initially to start the fight. A bit of a custom boss rework, which is really cool. But it was a big barrier to skipping Dark Visor for a while.
But that by the way is my favorite puzzle in the game, and I love the realization people have when they remember.
Did I get? Oh my god, this is really hard. I never get this. Let's go.
Well done.
I'm so inconsistent at that. I can't believe I got it on GDQ. It's I'll probably spare people. It's too hard for me to explain. But if you have seen vanilla Super Metroid stuff, you know how difficult that is.
And you have to get right in that hole. You only have a few pixels leeway.
Oh, that was a soft block scare. That one. I have to be careful for that super sync. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that super sync, that door is, on the bottom of the room. So if you go just a little bit too fast, you don't get stuck in the floor and instead just go straight through it. That's end of the run.
Okay, that's a bit of a wave beam check that's supposed to be intended for the Pirate Lab 2 path. So I had to super sync, just get the wave gate. But instead of going to Pirate Lab 2, we are going to the depths, which is a whole bunch of interconnected heated areas. So the things that you... we're down here to get Ice Beam and Power Bombs, and once you have both of those, you're supposed to go to the energy plant and shut off the power, and that removes the Verdite laser in the Pirate Lab that lets you get back to the spaceport. And getting back to the spaceport is very important for reasons. So this is the hive. We're going to be getting Ice Beam first. Ice Beam first is, I think, like, the more, like, intended. Like, you can do Ice Beam and Power Bombs in either order, but the path to get to Power Bombs first is, like, more hidden, and it's, like, expected for fewer players to find it, I think.
You know, I don't really think that either of them were that hidden, because a lot of people found the Verdite mines, like, if you go and look for it. And I think...
I didn't find it.
You know, some people find it first, some people don't, right? Yeah, I love watching people play. Yeah, I love watching people play this. I would say there is a bias for ice just because once you're coming back with Varia, it's like, well, you know, the hive entrance is right here if you've seen it, versus going around to get to the mines. The other one is that, you know, it's actually not half and half. It's actually like there's 3 ways in, and some people who are like been really exploring will have found the connection to the depths from the life temple, and they'll go there first because it's like the closest backtrack, like temporarily.
Oh, because yeah, you can get to there. You can like remember that that's there.
Yeah, so they basically do this area backwards.
Okay, so we have
yeah.
red key hunter dodges coming up, which similar to like vanilla Lorne Warfare is pretty scary. These will do 100 damage to me on my various suit.
They are buffed. they're really nasty. They will eat your supers and laugh at you.
This next couple set of rooms is really cool. Hopefully I hit the strats. Okay. Pretty good.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, never mind. So the things that Ice Beam kind of unlocks, your ability to defeat these Garens. These are like an enemy taken from Metroid Fusion. But instead of like a variety of different types vulnerable to different weapons, all of them in Subversion just need Ice Beam and missiles.
Yeah, there wasn't really a need to kind of do the fusion thing where every weapon had to have like a unique X-Parasite thing to block it. Is, you know, we just use wave gates and power bomb blocks, or, you know, all the things from Super Metroid. But this was like a nice
I'm gonna grab this refuel tank just because it's more annoying to jump over it. You lose run speed if you do that. Actually, that draws a square around. It's not relevant to this run. I'm not really making use of the refill tanks in any percent, but it draws a square. I didn't jump. It draws a square around or it draws a rectangle rather around the set of E-tanks that the save stations will refill. Oh, I never talked about the bomb radius actually.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so the bomb radius is increased a little bit. It makes it a lot easier to kind of look for secrets. It'll hit tiles basically to the right and to the left of where you placed it.
Yeah, it'll hit on a diagonal instead of just it'll hit on your diagonals instead of just the cardinal.
Yeah, that doesn't affect interaction with like enemies, so it's just for the tiles.
Oh, really? Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
It seems like you'd have to be more purposeful by doing that way. I don't know though.
Completely separate sections of the code.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
So we are in Verdant Mine, which has Stone Tower Temple music from Majora's Mask. Which, I really like the music. A lot of people complain that the theme doesn't suit this area. I don't know. I just like that the song is in the game.
It actually took me a little bit to get used to it, and now it just sounds correct to me.
Yeah, me too. And like I guess like it feels off because it looks like Red Tower from Vanilla. I'm going to get this E-tank for... We've got a lava dive upcoming, and my health is pretty bad.
Yeah, when I tested the upcoming lava dive, well, not exactly the way that you're gonna do it, but I did test can you just straight up lava dive and skip, and I tested with a bit more E-tanks.
I am pretty much doing a... Oh, right, okay, I'm skipping the second half of it.
So this is part of the barrier check. This is meant to slow you down, so if you don't have barrier, you're taking tons of damage, and then this room doubles down on that. You make it here, and it's
the second check tool takes forever, and we're gonna super sync past it.
But that said, it's completely possible to make it through this room.
Really?
It's just...
I wasn't supposed to pop out there. Yeah, skip area is an intended challenge. There's an achievement list that unlocks after you beat the game. Skip area is one of them. I actually I did a run for SNES Superstars on the Speed Gaming channel a couple weeks ago where I unlocked every single achievement and it took about 4 hours. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome, actually.
There's conflicting stuff there's 100% and low percent, so I had to and skip area, so I had to copy saves and use multiple playthroughs and stuff. So I'm gonna take this save. This is the path to power bombs, and you're supposed to go in here and fight Gold Teresa, which my equipment's very bad for it, and it would take forever. There's the Lower Norfair statue that in Vanilla, kind of the same style. Lowers the lava. There's actually 2 sections of lava to lower. There's another statue later that I'm also skipping.
The GT is nerfed a little bit by being a little earlier in the game when you have less equipment.
Yeah,
takes more
it's
damage.
no safe spot, and also there's no way to stop it from flaring crescents, as far as I know.
But it's also de-cheesed. You have to actually fight it.
Right. I mean, you've got speedball, so you can roll under its legs pretty easily. So we're gonna super sync outside the tube. There is lava outside of the tube, but the game is only, because I did the super sync, the game's only gonna realize it and start doing damage to me after I break the tube. And there's there's almost a Wile E. Coyote moment too. Okay.
Yeah, so the way that works is there's essentially a flag set in memory when you enter from the door that's in the tube that makes the game pretend that the lava's not actually there and just draws it graphically. And then once the tube is broken, the tube unsets that flag and makes it start dealing damage again. So
it doesn't do it immediately though, which is super interesting to me.
Yeah, I think it's I mean it's basically just like vanilla, where it does the same thing with the water, and we basically copied the same behavior. We made it work on lava, and it turns off the kind of disabled water physics when the tube breaks, but in vanilla, the tube locks your controls. You can't do anything until the tube is finished breaking. And in this game, you have control over Samus while it's
that's
breaking.
why. Okay, that makes sense. I get so used to it from like a lot of like the more advanced mods will give Samus back control during the tube breaking instead of making you freeze.
Yeah, we
forgot to
we
short
probably
charge
could
for
have
this.
moved
Oops.
that. Probably could have moved the setting that flag over, but
It's
like
better
it just
this way.
wasn't important. Yeah.
It's much better this way.
The other thing though that we did have to put in, which is something that showed up in like beta testing, was breaking the tube sets like another flag that like the tube is broken, but it also sets it really late, like after the sequence is done. So you could break the tube and enter the side door where the tube was, and then the tube would not be the game wouldn't remember the tube's broken.
I had that happen to me.
Yeah. So I think we fixed that.
I think I was sad you fixed that.
It caused some actual like big issues.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're supposed to. I'll just point out real quick. We're supposed to be going to the energy plant right now, and we're not, because we're just gonna skip the birdite laser that we're supposed to turn off, and it's kind of a shame because energy plant has great Bay Temple music, but
It's a
you
cool
know.
area.
It's a really cool area. It's got some really polarizing puzzles, I guess.
I don't even know. I would say puzzles aren't actually that hard in that area, but you know, it like many things in this.
Oh god.
Sometimes you
Okay,
just
so
have to
I have to do
remember.
cellar coming up. This room, you're
Invisible
supposed to have
crabs.
dark visor for it. Yeah, so these crabs are invisible without the dark visor. And it used to not be too bad. Okay, I'm resetting the room. I tripped on the stair. We didn't go fast enough. So with Wave Beam, it was pretty easy to just like kind of spray and pray if you missed some, and your beam did more damage. Okay, done. I need to approach this properly, or it's gonna go real bad. Okay. Okay. Oh, really? Okay. I somehow ran past the crab I was trying to kill. I need to let go of the run button here. Okay. Take 4. But yeah, this is a lot more difficult now that we're skipping Wave Beam. Oh, did I... This room is hard.
It's partly hard because of the run. But a lot of people get here and like, why am I taking damage? What's going on? Because you hadn't had to actually use Dark Visor in a while. You know, the first time you'd be coming in here is when you're going to the lower lab for the first
How
time.
am I missing this crab? I don't understand.
Sneaky little guy, I don't know.
Okay, we'll get through this together. I didn't make it onto the ledge.
Yeah, so a lot of these crabs, you know, are on cycles, and if you don't have just the right movement, because they move when they're on camera or when they're not on camera. Some of them move when they're on camera, some of them don't. But you can't see where they are, so you have no ability to like control their position. And super missiles, you know, they hit the wall, they'll knock the crabs off the ceiling, and they'll like, who knows where they've gone, right? So unless you know, if you're, this is basically has to be done completely by dead reckoning in this run, and lacking Wave Beam makes it so that, you know, as Audra said, you can't really recover. You
How
just
am I
have to...
missing this one? I swear, this is the thing I practiced the most before the run. I was... Okay, yeah. Alright, calm down, calm down. At least I'm getting, like, my ammo refilled back, so it's not that big of a deal, but... I don't understand how I'm not hitting this.
In the meantime, I do want to encourage everyone to join the GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix role. That's something we did somewhat recently. There you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff and showrunners, and more. So if you'd like to do that, use !Discord and Twitch chat for some more information.
I think I know what I'm doing wrong. Okay, I'm supposed to run into... I'm supposed to shoot the first one kind of blindish. Second one, I run into, but I'm shooting it to... No. This is your standard marathon fare. This is the thing that's going wrong. It's fine.
Yeah, you got this.
I don't understand. Am I... Oh... I'm shooting the wrong crab as the blind one because I'm going too fast. So I'm getting super confused. Oh, yeah, okay, so the crab that I think I'm trying to run into and shoot second is going the wrong direction. Because I'm going so fast, I'm shooting the wrong crab to begin with. Yes, okay, it works, because I went slower. There we go. I was doing it too good, that's why. That's why it wasn't working.
Classic speedrunning going too fast.
Oh my god. That is so funny. Okay.
Well, you got it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that just speaks to how specific speedrunning is a lot of the time.
I'm very thankful for this E-Tank. It's one of my favorite room names, Epiphragmatic Crag. There's like a lot of room names in this taken from like geology based stuff. Real world scientific, very but if that's the path to Pirate Lab 2 actually. So if we were still getting a wave beam, I would have had that E-Tank for the lava dive, and it would have been easier.
So, one of the things with this is when, putting together the world, there's kind of the over idea of, where the progression is, what different tracks need to exist.
We're gonna skip this for night laser now, by the way.
Oh yeah, this is a trick.
We do this using a spike suit from vanilla. Oh, second try, okay. It's just because the wind up animation like pushes you upward through the laser. So you can actually, like, because it's the wind up thing we care about and not storing the shine spark, I'm just gonna assume people know how this trick works. It's in vanilla to like save a few seconds after Dragon. So like go look up spike suit, I guess. I'm not gonna explain it here, but basically, you can get the bad frame and still work here because we don't care about storing the shine spark to use later. We just care about getting the wind up thing to work.
Right, if you get high enough, no matter what, it'll damage boost you out.
I meant I was supposed to go all the way up the room. And that was just I just wanted to get rid of the shine spark. So I actually accidentally kill this thing with it. So we're at a very riveting point of the run where we're supposed to have grapple beam. Yeah, so we're back in the spaceport. And one of grapple beam's functions, since it comes in the item sequence after space jump, people are like wondering, I shouldn't have opened that. People are like wondering what use is grapple beam after you already have space jump. But grapple beam, there are pulley switches in this game, or in this mod. You hang off of them with grapple and you use them to open gates and stuff. So there is a pulley gate you're supposed to grapple in this room to get back to the original section of the spaceport so we can do stuff. But because I don't have grapple, I can't open the gate, so we have to freeze an enemy and use it to ice clip. Ice clip is like it's like a sort of commonish technique in like low percent vanilla or randomizers, where if you like sit, if you're crouched on a surface at like just the right height, that like the game doesn't detect that there's a ceiling above Samus, you can jump through the ceiling.
Right, so you can create that kind of like height differential by using an enemy to, you know, adjust the right pixel height, which normally wouldn't exist in the game.
Yeah, unfortunately, this it's only this specific copy of the enemy that we can get over here. We have to knock it off with the super and then babysit it throughout the entire room.
Yeah, so
You cannot really feasibly bathroom break this because, okay, so there's a flag each instance of an enemy can have that controls whether it moves on screen, or sorry, whether it moves off screen or not. And that's so that like certain enemies can move around the room on their own, but if they don't have to be able to do that, then the game can save on like CPU cycles and stuff, not processing an enemy when it's off screen. So anyways, this enemy, which I think you called it a mob because its like purpose is to clean the walls.
Yep.
It does not move off screen, so we have to babysit it, and we do not get a bathroom break.
those wall crawling enemies are actually a little bit CPU intensive compared to other ones. Yeah, that just bounce around. So they actually have to load the collision and, you know, decide how it's gonna work, you know, interact with it, and that's a lot more complicated.
Okay, so Metroids. Now that we have power bombs, we can get into like the Metroid containment here. And I am going to power bomb these to death because I have not picked up any like beam upgrades. There are enemies there's custom items in this game called damage amps that increase your beam damage, and I have not picked up any of them. And we've got the Metroid suit, which, believe it or not, I think you guys were saying that you had the idea
Not
to put
inspired
this in the
by
hack, like,
Dread.
well
Yeah.
before Dread came out.
Years before, probably when they were still like thinking about maybe funding the game.
It's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. I think I looked at the, you know, history, because I went, you know, when Dread came out, I was just like, everyone's gonna think that we took it from Dread, and I went and looked at the history. I think this was, I think I coded this while like on a trip. I was like stuck, you know, in my seat with a computer. And I think I coded it like during the trip, like in like, was it like 2016, 17, something like that. It
Oh,
was,
wow.
yeah. This took 7 years to make, so, you know, it's not a full-time job. It's, you know, professional games get made much faster because you can work on them full-time. But yeah, that was one that's got added, and
So one of the functionalities of this is that it lets you pass through Verdite lasers, which is required here to pass through here, get to the bridge controls. And we are just going to crash the spaceport.
Yep. It's very like you know, Metroid you know, Fusion or whatever. You're gonna crash the station into the planet. So you're turning on the engines on the ship and pulling the whole thing down.
I forgot to do the lag reduction in these rooms because I was like focused on saying things, but there are cool lag
Yeah.
reduction strats for those rooms.
There's a
I
lot of lag.
promise.
Lag is a feature. It's like when you see like the centiseconds ticking by 1 second at a time, you know there's a lot of lag.
Oh yeah. This is not the end of the run, by the way. This is actually like it's like equivalent to like the series escape of the game.
It's actually funny, and sometimes a little unfortunate that some people have watched play this, on their first run, and they see that they triggered an escape and they just reset the game.
Oh no.
They're like, oh, I got the bad end. I wasn't done.
Oh, I will say, this game does an excellent job of like hiding the fact that there is a third suit in it, because if you pause and like you look at your item screen, if you don't have the Metroid suit, there's only space for 2 suits to show up. So it like literally just like redraws it. It draws it differently as the third space once you get it.
Yeah, I really didn't want to give away the third suit. That was
GG question mark. Okay, so now that the spaceport has crashed, we need to make our way to the wreckage of the GFS Daphne, like the Federation ship that was attached to it. Oops, I'm just gonna shine spark this. So you're supposed to go through this whole trip around the planet. The power is supposed to be off right now. So one function of the power being off is the cargo rail I'm about to access here to get to the Sky Temple doesn't work. But because we never turn the power off, we can just use it and get to the Sky Temple right away. So with Metroid Suit, you can pass through Verdite lasers. You can shoot Hyper Beam when you're inside Verdite lasers or sparks. And Hyper Beam is the answer to killing Ridley.
It also provides the actual immunity to lava, which is demonstrated during that escape.
Right, and also it does a lore thing, and I forgot to unequip it, and oopsie, I'm gonna have to do that. So it ramps up your cold damage by a lot. It is okay. Varia suit, like I really like the suit system that you guys made for this, because it's just like, I don't know, very robust. Like each suit contributes things on its own being equipped, which like vanilla doesn't really work like that. So Varia is still doing like a lot of work in protecting you from cold, even though the Metroid suit is making you take damage. If you have Metroid suit on in the cold without Varia on, your energy just melts off. And that is quite significant for the Skip Varia achievement.
I put a special check for that.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so the code that does the cold damage has normally it just goes through the regular kind of damage reduction routine. So mitigated by whatever percent based on the suits that you have. So it'd be 25, 50, or 75. But the problem is that if you have all the suits, like I would have to make the damage value some like really crazy thing in order to make the damage reduction work. So instead, I just made it actually just have like a separate thing and say like, if you have Metroid suit, we're not gonna do damage reduction. We're going to just delete health directly without damage reduction.
So this fight is extremely awkward because of the potentially having, depending on your health, you potentially have to like equip and unequip Metroid suit, and you have to jump into these sparks to activate your Hyper Beam.
Yep. the positioning in that fight makes it complicated.
And there is this switch puzzle, which so there are 3 gates that lock screw attack. Screw attack is basically like the key to the end game. And you have to like rotate all the mirrors here so that they end up pointing the lasers to where they need to go to power the gates. And you're supposed to like mess with the switches to rotate the mirrors, go into the room and see if you can like figure out what exactly you did and what you should do next.
Yeah, unfortunately, that particular puzzle sometimes takes a really long time. Sometimes I wonder if I should have made it only 3 instead of 5.
I don't know. I liked it, but yeah, some people had trouble with it for sure. And one thing I really like about this mod, though, in general, is just that so like 100% is very challenging. There's an optional bonus area with the super boss. It's really difficult. There's a hard mode. There's a
Watch out,
second
falling
quest.
on spikes. Yeah, falling on spikes in hard mode is just like death.
Yeah, because you have like no iframes in hard mode. The enemies move faster in hard mode. It's your environmental damage goes up. It's a lot more interesting than like a lot of standard hard modes that are just like, oh, things do more damage and that's it. So this mod is pretty like approachable for even if you're like not super skilled at Super Metroid. But it also has like tons of optional content that's very challenging for the advanced players. So now that we have Screw Attack, we're able to go all the way east to the wreckage of the GFS Daphne, which is like, I didn't go over the lore of it at all, but it's a stolen Federation ship. It is where the mother brain of this game is, which in the lore is an Aurora unit. It's like the kind from Metroid Prime 3. It's Metroid Prime 3 callbacks. The GFS Daphne has antimatter warheads on it, and in order to blow up the planet, we crash the spaceport into the planet and then go detonate the warheads on the Daphne.
Yeah, so Audra skipped it with that first skip with the
You need Screw
the
Attack
wave gate.
to go through that gate, which is why this is like endgame locked. Anyways, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So you skip the kind of Mother Brain 1 fight, which actually happens. It's the Mother Brain is the first boss that you fight in the game, which I also thought was very cute.
Yeah, we're just gonna do it now. Normally, like this Mother Brain 1 phase would be clear already. I just got screwed by the drop there.
It is definitely easier to do now because you have a lot of ammo and you don't have to farm.
Mm-hmm. We have to do this to unlock the doors in the room to proceed.
It's actually a good thing because I think it would actually break if you didn't kill it first.
I need to leave and farm another drop. Do I need 2 more? I might need another one. Actually, some of our more astute viewers might have noticed that I never picked up Charge Beam at any points, and we're about to do a Mother Brain fight with only 80 total missiles. So that doesn't seem like it's gonna work very well, but it's one of the really interesting things about any percent I had this idea, and I think a few other people might have independently had the idea as well. The route used to get a bunch of damage amps and charge beam and wave beam and stuff to try and like make this fight as quick as possible reasonably without picking up too much extra stuff. But so I had this idea, what if we just don't pick up any of it? Because there is a sort of hidden mechanic in this fight. So when we do enough damage to Mother Brain 2, it's like, this is like a normal vanilla Mother Brain 2 fight. But once we clear that phase, there's no baby Metroid in this lore. It goes straight to Mother Brain 3. And a Verdite laser pops up that you can use Hyper Beam with. So that's your Mother Brain 3 Hyper Beam, is there's a Verdite laser that pops up for it. Now, there's a second laser that pops up during NB2 if the escape timer hits 725. So I figured we could save time from just skipping charge beam and not routing in all the damage amps and stuff, not worrying so much about like collecting enough ammo. If we just sit here for like 2 minutes and wait for the laser to show up. And I'm not triggering the fight itself yet, because if I trigger the fight itself, we'd be dealing like with attacks and lag and stuff. So it's just chill to sit here. Another interesting thing is this strategy is actually exclusive to normal mode, because in easy mode, there's no escape timer. And the extra laser you get here to be able to skip charge is tied to the escape timer, so there not being an escape timer makes this not work on easy mode. It also doesn't work on hard mode, because the escape timer starts at 7:30 instead of 10 minutes, and you can't get to here before 7:25. The laser doesn't show up after 7:25. You have to actually have that second pass while you're here.
You have to actually be like in the Mother Brain fight for it to work, if I recall correctly.
Okay, so here we go. Just gonna get free Hyper Beam basically.
But yeah, it was, I mean, kind of part of the logic there was like hard mode doesn't need the rubber
I
band.
timed this like almost exactly right.
Perfect.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like hard mode doesn't need the rubber band, it's hard.
There's
And-
the Mother Brain 3 one that
Yeah,
shows up.
you get your like double catch-ups and stuff.
So this fight is like kind of, you've got catch-ups during her kind of crazy mode in MB3 where she walks forward a lot. The thing is, you also have Screw Attack and Respin, which makes dodging the catch-up honestly kind of free if you're paying attention, which I was not.
There was a point in time when this fight was hard, but by the time like all the different things and the rest of the game was filled out, it got easy again.
Actually, if you want a challenge in this fight, unequip the Metroid suit when you go into it and try and beat it.
Don't get locked behind the laser.
Yeah. So like the fact that like once you unequip Metroid suit, the lasers just become spike walls, essentially. And you're very limited to where you can stand through the room. It makes it very hard. And you don't have Hyper Beam for phase 3 anymore. So you have to do like literally 36,000 damage off of like whatever actual weapons you have. It is like, so the fact that you need to pass through the Verdite laser to get to the bridge on Spaceport to crash it, to even like make this area appear, is like the big reason that Metroid suit is completely unskippable. It's a little bit of a shame to me, because if it was, then you could actually get a Mother Brain fight like that. But it's probably for the best.
Oh, I mean, floors might be suggestions, but walls are still real.
Right? It's actually really funny that way. Okay, actually I did this room properly this time. Oh, come on, really? I didn't make it through the wall? Come on.
My cue for
Okay.
that is like jump right on that little upslope, but I miss also half the time. So
This damage boost is like certified impossible. Sean Cass and I give each other crap over. I can't get it in marathons. I'm actually pretty consistent on it normally. I just cannot get it in marathons. Like the issue with it is you're trying to like hold jump for the damage boost, but because you have respin, holding jump also activates your screw attack. So you have to like do your inputs in a very particular order for it to work. So we're actually quite close to the ship now, so time is going to be coming up pretty soon. Yeah, so we skipped like basically the entire second half of the game. Just did spaceport crash and then went straight to the end from there without doing any of the other required stuff. And time. Nice.
Alright, GG. Yeah, thank you so much for being on the show. I saw you submit Super Metroid Subversion to another event, and then I was like, oh yeah, I should do a Super Metroid episode, because there are so many cool Metroid mods.
There are really so many. There's like probably like 400 or so on Metroid construction, and like maybe
Wow.
maybe like 50 of them are worth playing. um, you know what it's like with like custom content and like quality.
Yeah.
But there's some very, very, very good ones. Subversion and Nature would be like my two most recommended for like inexperienced players. My favorite is Redesign, which is very difficult and unfair. And yeah, I don't know. I just that one was very formative to me, suffering through it. I have run about 30 or so of these mods. It's like my favorite thing to do in Super Metroid. I got a lot of like randomizer skill out of routing all the different ones, like solving different puzzles, learning like a ton more about the game than you would otherwise because of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
And Amoeba of Doom, thank you for being on as well. Always cool to hear the perspective of a dev.
oh yeah, sure. You know, part of it is it's just, you know, for me the best thing is watching people enjoy it. Like I love it.
I'm so happy that you and Test Runner, you know, put so much work into this, spent so much time on it. It turned out really nicely, and there's so much replay value in this one.
Shout out to Test Runner. Anyway, any last shout outs before we wrap up?
I don't think there's anything in particular. Oh,
Alright, well-
actually, I will shout
Yeah,
out
go for it.
Kamaru, for not only like Kamaru did a lot of like work with me on developing like redesign strategies, which is kind of like a really big ask. That the hack is really hard. But he also made like a very detailed map of Subversion in Google Docs with like lists of like all where the barrier was. We had a lot of discussions on how to route 100%, and he just put a lot of work into documenting stuff for this. So yeah,
Well, yeah,
I think
again,
that's
thank-
about it.
Thank you both.
I'd shout out Test Runner again, you know, my co-author.
Yes.
You know, do well. And also there is a randomizer for this game, which is currently maintained by Bucks. So really, if you get into it and you like it, it never ends.
Wait, there's a randomizer for a mod? That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, thank you both for being on, and thank you everyone who's here tuning in. We, of course, appreciate it. If you missed out on today's shows, so, you know, this Parallel Universe episode or Mr. Shasta's Do All the Things right before, stay tuned for a replay of the final day of Hotfix before SGDQ. And of course, speaking of SGDQ, we will be live this Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern as we kick off SGDQ 2024. Don't miss it. We will see you all then. I've been Helix. I hope you all have a